Skill-based matchmaking. Does this concept help COD, hurt COD, or a little bit of both? Let's talk about it. What up though, family? We are back with another Warzone video, man, trying to understand the science behind this skill-based matchmaking and whether or not we like it or we don't like it. I'm pretty sure we don't like it, but just trying to look at both angles, you know what I'm saying? Playing devil's advocate and looking at the positive and the negative so that we can get a clear understanding of what it is. And I know a lot of us have ADHD in this new society that we live in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove my handsome face and you're gonna check out some gameplay while we have a conversation, man. So let's go. All right, so look, to understand skill-based matchmaking, man, we're gonna have to look at this from every angle, like I said before, and to figure out if we got a lot of issues or do we got a lot of whining. You know what I'm saying? So either way, let's take a look. So the first point of view we're gonna look at is from a casual player, or what we call a bot is what people refer them to, right? So what that is that's just somebody that likes to, you know what I'm saying, after a long day of work, you know what I'm saying, probably pop a beer, have something to drink, and just get on the game and play with their homeboys and just chill out. They ain't that great at the game, but they do have fun. They just trying to be the best that they can be. So their expectations are not very high on the game, you see what I'm saying? And what most may think is they want that individual, because believe it or not, if you look at COD and just the demographic of it, majority of your players are the casual player. It's not the sweats that we call them, or even your great 2% pro players. It's majority casual players. And so the key is for the casual player to have the best experience, because at the end of the day, that's literally how they keep money in their pockets and they keep money growing. So when we look at all of that, we got to see that, like, okay, you see the appeal to the casual player. And so when you're dealing with the casual player, if the casual player is always playing against sweat players and players that are out here top 250, and they literally don't even have time but to be on the game for maybe an hour a day or a couple of hours a week, they're not trying to deal with that getting slammed every single time. So I understand the fact of why you wanted to create a system to give the casual player a better experience. So I understand that part. But in the same token of saying that, some casual players too feel like they are somewhat better than most and they like to be challenged, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you can see where there's a skill gap or a certain separation that's going to be there due to the fact of how you match these things up. Now, do I feel like it's fair to match casual players up with sweat players? Absolutely not, because all you're going to end up doing is getting cooked. And then what we're going to say as the sweat player is, hey man, the casual player needs to get better. But at the end of the day, the casual player doesn't have that time to get better. They're just there to play the game for a little while and have fun. And don't nobody want to play a game where they constantly getting cooked. You see what I'm saying? So that's just being 100. So I can understand from that viewpoint why skill-based matchmaking is effective, and it can help because they want to keep that type of player on the game, because that's the type of player that invests in the game. Now we got to talk about the sweat players, and we know them, and I'm trying to be one of them. Not gonna lie, I'm just gonna be honest with it. But let's have a conversation about your sweat players. Now these players here, they feel like they're the best players on the game until they run into another player that's better than them, and then they're gonna label that player as, you're cheating, you're aimbotting, you're doing something. There's no way you're better than me, because, you know what I'm saying, I put a lot of time into the game to make me great. And that's not true at all. Fact of the matter is, there are players that are going to be better than you, and most of your sweat players love to just say that somebody's cheating because they got beat in a gunfight or they were out of position or this, that, and the third. So that's what you're dealing with your sweat players. Now, these players are going to campaign for no skill-based matchmaking, and the reason why is because they don't want to run into another sweat player that can actually give them their initial issue, is what we call it. You know what I'm saying? Be able to fight just as well as them. You see what I'm saying? When you're a sweat player, you're somewhat like a bully. And when you're a bully, you want to pick on people, right? And so if there's no skill-based matchmaking, this is only going to help your self-esteem, because you're going to pick on all your casual players. Well, obviously, when you do that, that hurts the casual players' experience. And so that's why they kind of have the skill-based matchmaking to be like, look, you know what? Let's put these type of players together with each other. Now, the downfall of doing that is this. Those type of players are somewhat miserable, because at the end of the day, they want to get on the game too and just have a good time. Like, I don't always want to get on here and sweat and be into those type of lobbies every single time I load into the game. I feel like there should be at least a chance for a person to just have some fun and warm up and kick it. But when you in these type of lobbies, man, ain't no warming up, ain't no kicking it. It's just get right to it. So I can understand why they don't like the skill-based matchmaking system. But in the same token, like we said, we see why it's in place. These players also believe that that SBM is breaking the game, and they don't feel like every lobby is equal, because sometimes they get put in lobbies to where players are way better than them, and so then they feel like that, oh, I must have got shadow banned or something because ain't no way in the world all these players shooting like this. And I mean, like we say, there's always going to be levels to everything you do, and so and that's no different in COD. There's certain levels to COD where you know, like, okay, yeah, buddy just better than me. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, is that a good experience for those individuals who have a little bit more time and a little bit more skillful at the game to always pair them up with somebody else? Because like when you see the series I'm doing from bot to sweat, as I gradually get better, there's really no definitive way to know that I'm getting better besides my lobbies are getting worse and getting harder to play in. But that doesn't necessarily mean I'm getting better in my sight, because if I go from only getting 1 to 2 kills as a casual player to now I'm getting 4 or 5, but then I get bumped into a sweatier lobby and now I'm back to 2 to 3 kills, I don't feel like I'm getting better. And I feel like I'm putting more time into the game, but I'm not getting better. So it's hard to see your progression with this type of software in mind, or this type of skill algorithm in mind. It's hard for you to see what type of player you are, or if you're getting better or not. And then when you finally do join up with a lobby with a bunch of your friends, and now your lobby is not going to be the dominant one in the algorithm, and you're going to play with your friends, then you're going to go in here and drop 8 or 9, 10 kills. You're like, oh man, I'm doing pretty good. And all you're doing is messing up their skill-based matchmaking, because now when they get back on their by themselves, they're going to get destroyed, and that's going to help them not want to play the game. So as you can see, there's a whole bunch of issues on why this thing can go up, down, left, right, like either way, man. So I just feel like they need to come up with a better system as far as how they're doing this, because you literally have a game that you can go casual with pubs, which I feel like pubs should just be free for all, like, you know what I'm saying? And then again, you also have ranked Warzone, which should be for the individuals who really are trying to be the top and the best of the best and amongst the elite and want to test their skill. I feel like that's where the separation should be. So, but that's just my opinion. And now we got the final group, man. And y'all all know this group because we all hate this group. And I mean, hate's a strong word, so I'll say strongly dislike this group. And that's your hackers and your cheaters, man. Your hackers and your cheaters, your hackers and your cheaters. Now, these type of players just gonna abuse COD because they're not good at it, right? What do I mean by that? Pretty simple. They're tired of losing gunfights. They feel like whatever they do, they're not good at. Some of these individuals work enough hours where they want to come home and they want to feel like who they see on YouTube. So they're like, if these guys on here dropping 20, 30 kills, I want to be able to do it too. But they don't understand that those guys have been playing this game for like 15 years or six to 10 years, and you just play periodically here and there when you feel like it. So of course there's going to be a skill gap, but they don't like that. So what do? They go to your nearest Discord and find somebody to go ahead and get them some cheats. And so now when they implement all these cheats into the game, where they got aimbot, they seeing through walls, and it's obvious for the most part of who's cheating and who's not, especially if they're new to it. But you got some people that are very experienced and know how to make it seem as if they're not cheating, to where you're questioning everything that they're doing. So either way, this is where the game has an issue, because now you got these cheaters in here, and when you finally do find them and we report them, even though you say spam reporting don't work, that's a lie, because when people spam report people, you get shadow banned. And once you get shadow banned, you're in this weird realm of cheaters for no apparent reason until they realize, okay, you weren't cheating. Then they let you come back out, which is it's really stupid. You got to have a better system than that. But once you go through that, and then you get to where you're like, okay, cool, now I'm on here. I'm out of this little cheating realm. I ain't got to worry about it. Next thing you know, bam, you're back in the lobby with more cheaters, because these guys some of these guys are miserable and they're just not happy, man. And so I feel like there needs to be a bigger penalty for those that's cheating. And what do I mean by that? I understand that this game is free, and that's like the new thing where most of your games that are fun are free, right? But I feel like if you can tie something to them, like as far as a credit card or anything that of personal information, to where you can tie it to them, then maybe you can ban that card from being used on your system, which then that bans that user from ever getting back on it. Because all that happens is they'll ban a cheater. Then once they ban them, we all know what they do. They go make another account, which takes literally like 5 minutes. And then they'll go right back into that same little cheating Discord that they're in. They'll go in there and unlock all the freaking blueprints and all the camos. And so now you got a level 17 that's running around with dark matter. And you're so confused on how he got that when he's a level 17 and even prestige yet. So again, man, there's a lot of the issues that we run into, and this is what makes COD disheartening, because most of your cheaters is the reason why people are frustrated, and then they want the crossplay turned back on so that the console players can just turn it on and get away from the PC players. And us as PC players, I'm frustrated because I don't use any of that, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be penalized because of what others choose to do. So it's kind of hard to make everybody happy, man, but I do understand why they got certain things in place. So what's the fix? That's the real question. Y'all let me know what y'all think the fix is, because that's the $1 million question, man. Like, we all say the same thing. We love playing COD. It's no doubt in that, but we want a better experience than what we're receiving, especially when you dealing with the cheaters, which is one thing, but then you got all these other bugs, which is another. It's like, come on, man. This game, you're a $1 billion company. This game should be a lot more polished than what you're giving us, man. And really right now, what it seems like is you're trying to polish a turd, and we all know you can't do that. So that's very frustrating to us. But what do you think in the comments below? What are you seeing that you would like to see improved, or what do you think about the skill-based matchmaking? Do you feel like it's warranted, or do you feel like in some cases they need to dial it back to where it's not as strong as it is, to where everybody can still have an enjoyable experience when playing the game? Because, you know, at the end of the day, that's all it's about. It's about having fun. It's not about being the best player in the world, because if you want to do that, they got tournaments for that. But at the end of the day, it's about being fun. And speaking of those tournaments, I think that may be some of the issues too, to where they got these 2v2 kill tournaments and they put these guys in quad teams and they just let them prey upon public lobbies. I feel like if you're gonna be advocating for money and people playing for money, that should be a private server. It shouldn't be on the public server, because that's just ridiculous. Some people just coming to play, man. We ain't trying to hear all that and be a part of all that kill feeds and kill races, man. We just here to have a good time. So at the end of the day, why don't y'all just go ahead and get a private server and stop abusing people in the pubs, man? That's what we ask. Hopefully, Season 3, with this new anti-cheat that they being so secret squirrel about, hopefully this thing works. Now, do we believe it's gonna work? No. I hope. But at the end of the day, I hope it worked in Season 2 too. So we'll see. They ain't even fixed Mountaineer yet. That thing's still broken. So ain't no telling what they're gonna do. But I do have high hopes, because I love playing the game. So I can't do nothing else but be optimistic, man. So at the end of the day, I pray that they do have a sense of urgency and make their game better than what it is, because at right now, the state that Call of Duty's in, man, it's a bad situation. So they need to fix that. But either way, we will see. If you made it this far in the video, man, first I want to say thank you, and I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Because you could have been doing anything else in the world, but you decided to rock with me. So again, I appreciate it. And if you got any type of value or any type of entertainment from this video, then come on, man, help your unk out and smash the like button. And consider subscribing to the channel if you have not, as it is only a thumb movement, and it helps me out tremendously. And there is no me without you. Also, if you didn't know, I live stream on YouTube and Twitch at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you need somebody to help you get through your work day or your work morning, and you ain't got nothing going on, you just chilling at the crib, either way, pull up on your man. We got a great cookout family, man, and we in here just moving and grooving and having a good time. So pull up on us. And if you on Twitch, come on, dog. You know how to find me. The link gonna be in the description below, man. So just click that link and pull up on me. And like I always say, if ain't no one told you that they love you today, just know that Jesus loves you, man. Peace and love, and I'm gonna catch you on the next one.